Hey YouTube, I'm going to come at you with an Ultra Team featuring Aurorus, and this Pokemon I built up because it was promised to be good. It was always tough when I went against it, but then I built one up, I used it, and I've never been more disappointed in an Ultra League Pokemon in my life. It is extremely glassy, and I'm just going to talk about the double weakness, like the dual typing, because, not double weakness, dual typing, because dual typings are great on certain Pokemon, and on others, they just add unnecessary weaknesses. And this is the exact case for this Pokemon. So let me give you an example where it is strong and then weak. So Swampert is the main case where it's strong, right? Because you can look at Swampert only double weak to grass, but neutral to everything else. So if this was just pure water, you would also have an electric weakness, right? But because it has that ground typing, it neutralizes the electric weakness. So you only have the one typing. So that is where a dual typing is awesome, because it neutralizes one of your weaknesses. It makes you double weak to something, sure. But then you also, with that ground typing, add a rock resistance, add a poison resistance. Actually, with that ground typing, you double resist electric. So you add an electric weakness resistance. And you add that's a fire and steel resist because of the water typing, right? So that is where sort of duo typings are amazing. Aurorus, rank 16, I thought is going to be great. The problem is it is ice and rock, and that duo typing kills you because, first of all, you add two double weaknesses, an ice. So ice and rock, you're double weak to fighting and steel, right? Because each of these are weak to those. So you're double weak to fighting, and then the rock is weak to grass, the rock is weak to ground, ice is weak to rock, rock is weak to water, right? So you have basically many weaknesses. And then sort of where your strengths are, rock will resist the poison, normal, ice, and flying. Does ice not resist anything? Ice resists nothing here, right? So ice is kind of like a brutal typing for this. Just kind of like adding weaknesses without not doing much. It hits super effective against like flyers and dragons and stuff like that, so it doesn't do nothing. But just all these weaknesses are the issue. And the issue with the Ultra League is it is filled with counter users and water Pokemon, right? So Greninja we haven't even seen yet, so that's going to be added on. But like counter users in Escav, Machamp, Cobalion, Poliwrath, Puzzle, Scrafty, Superpower has a Snorlax. Snorlax has a Superpower there. Swampert as your both ground and water option. Toxicroak as a fighter. Defenseoxys as a fighter, like counter user. Registeel as a Focus Blast user. Galarian Stunfisk as a ground. So like these are a ton of losses, like Jellicent as a water, Verzin as so many of the main meta weaknesses. And these are not just like little losses. These are you're getting your butt kicked, right? So why it's ranked so high is because it's offset with some big wins here, mostly against like the main meta, right? Pidgeot, A9tails, Charizards are everywhere, Giratina Altars are everywhere, right? So for me, I think it's got a boost in the ranks because it does so well against the main meta. But man, does it have a lot of weaknesses against a ton of also meta Pokemon and very hard losses. So I used it. Again, this team also has its flaws, so don't worry about the team too much because it's Tapu Fini is going to be a problem. You're double weak to Verizon in the back. But I just, yeah, that dual typing has only hindered it. And because it's already sort of glassy to begin with, having so many weaknesses in this meta that also for glassy XL Pokemon. Is it XL'd? I think it took a few XLs, but not. If it did, it's only a few XLs, or probably actually no XLs. So that's what makes it pretty rough. So in this lead here, you're gonna win in the 2v1. Charizard will get to 2 claws, but then you could just farm down, which is fine. Come with energy. Poliwrath, love to see it. I have to stay in here because Aurorus is gonna get lit up by Poliwrath, so I just gotta try and get a couple Dragon Claws off here, and then get my Swampert on this. Put it within Mudshot Hydro Cannon range. Dragonite, again, Dragonite, if you can avoid ice and if you can avoid fairies, it's just so good in this meta. I really like Dragonite. I'm trying to use it on another team. So took it super low, come in swampert, and this is, again, it's good just because it is an ice on a grass. So I don't even think this takes out, quite honestly. No, so you're going to need a second one. The good news is you will live one grass knot from this range, but I'll probably put you in the red, or C-bomb, whatever it is. C-bomb, yeah, pretty close to the red. So again, I'm not saying like it's useless completely. Like you can get some wins against stuff, but just, man, it's got it's got some rough matchups. So great lead here. Obviously, they're gonna have to switch out into Charizard. Okay, just right now, this is just so far hard countered. This one's an annoying matchup because the Blast Burn actually would put you in wing attack range, and at this point, they're at like multiple Blast Burns. So I do shield up one properly, which is nice. If they want, they could like shield and go to a second Blast Burn. I don't know if they can get to a third Blast Burn because Swampert is just pretty spammy. Yeah, it looks like we're going to CMP here. So I'm going to shield because, again, Blast Burn will take me out. Freaking Dragon Claw may take me out from this range. So, but they go Blast Burn. We get the CMP there. I'm going to keep Switch because I think Switch is important against Swampert here. I mean, it's super important against Swampert because I need my Dragonite on it and not my Pokemon that is weak to every single one of their moves on it. Swampert still doing great. I am going to bring this core Dragonite and Swampert to another matchup, but I'm going to do it with, I just built up a normal Swampert. I'm having a lot of difficulty with Shadow Swampert in this meta. I'm probably just going to Super Power or try and catch her. Earthquake, super effective, won't take you out, and then you'll get to the Meteor Beam before they take you out here. I'm having trouble with Shadow Swampert in this meta. And the main issue I'm running into is a lot of people are running a double poison team with something like Virizion on the lead and Drapion, Shadow Drapion, and like a Shadow Skunk in the back. And a Shadow Swampert against a Shadow Drapion, two crunches take you out, right? Actually, I think a crunch and an Aqua Tail takes you out because their Shadow, your Shadow, it does a ton of damage to you. So I am going to, I just built up a non-Shadow because I think the non-Shadow will have a way better matchup in there. It's the same sort of in neutral matchups. Like, again, you hit like a truck, Shadow Swampert, but like even in neutral matchups, like counters on Scrafty and just like even like foul plays from Umbreon, like those start to add up on Shadow Swampert in this league because it doesn't, you're not excelled, right? So you're like a level 34-ish whatever Swampert against like level 50 Pokemon. The bulk difference is substantial. So I'd rather give up a little bit of bang there for a little more health. So I'm trying to use Dragonite, Swampert, and Licklicky. I powered up my rank 1 Licklicky. I've used it a few times. It's been good and not good. It's very bulky, but also has its limitations for sure. But I will showcase that hopefully sometime next week. And we have an Ampharos in the back, so Swampert just doing great there. Giratina lead. Yeah, again, you probably just stay in this matchup. It is a Dragon Breath Giratina, which is, it is what it is. You'll CMP here. You win CMP. I always think I try and shield because I think I can get to the second Dragon Claw before. Let's see if I shield or just let this go and try and farm a bit. Yeah. So if I did not have Aurorus in the back here, if I had worse Pokemon, I would probably try to shield and then farm and then throw the second Dragon Claw and try and take switch. But I did. They have Swampert. So I chipped it because I don't think a Hydro, I don't think. A Hydro does not take out Swampert from full health range, but it will take it out after being chipped. Problem is, their Giratina is just going to come right back in here, and then I'm worried about what they have in the back to deal with a nice Pokemon. And they shield, and I think I'm going to have to shield back here. Yeah. Because I got to get this out of here. And I don't want to be in like the red for Giratina just to farm me down. I'm going to force Giratina to actually put in a little bit of work here. But that's what I'm talking about. Like, let me try and bank this. Let's see if I try and bank this. Yeah, I'm going to try and bank this move. And I get hit with a Reggie. And this is one where just like, you got nothing. Like, you're walled completely. You're walled against steals completely. There's so many counter users. You're double weak to fighting. So this is going to one-shot you with ease. I need to get to 2 earthquakes essentially. So I'm farming up as much as I can to take this out, but I think the Giratina is going to have a move and take me out. Close. But yeah, it's disappointing. Again, and I'm not saying don't build up Aurorus, but like, see, Aurorus has a great matchup here. But if you have A9, if you have Walrein, if you have a Sandslash, those are the ice Pokemon I probably want to use before I use Aurorus at this point. Meteor Beam does barely over 50. Surf will probably take me out. So I have to shield here. I may try and bait. No, just going straight for this. But they're going to get to a Surf way before I get to even a double boosted Weather Ball here. So I go, just come farm. Because I'll come out with a move here. They may get a Shadow Ball off, but at this point, there's not much you can do about it. You just got to let this go. And okay, it's just a Surf, so that's nice. Come out with the Superpower for this. So this will grab the shield. Again, double super effective, so they have to shield, which will put them down to 0 shields. And now I got a hard answer for it on it. They have a hard answer for me. Has this been a pretty hard counter team so far? Pretty tough. But one Earthquake does a ton of damage. I'll shield up a Liquidation eventually. Shield up 1 here. Oh no, I'm not going to do that. Good job past me. I'm going to Dragon Breath down and come out with a double super effective Superpower to one-shot an Aurorus. So I get fully farmed and I Superpower, double super effective, Shadow Dragonite is going to one-shot this Aurorus. That is why you are useless. But yeah, Dragonite takes out an Aurorus, counter confirmed. Like, there's just there's too many Pokemon that have water moves. There's too many Pokemon that have ground moves. There's too many Pokemon that have fighting moves for Aurorus to be any sort of strong in this meta. So save your dust, save your candies for now. I again was not impressed. But that is why we do this. We are testing out a bunch of Pokemon, trying to find teams that work. So you do not have to invest in them if you don't need to. That's it. Tomorrow will be community analysis. Looking over Greninja. Just watch tomorrow's video. I really have a problem with everyone talking about how like Greninja is the second coming of Jesus here. It's like it's still below Swampert in Great League, Ultra League, and Master League in terms of wins. Because again, I just talked about duo typing at the beginning here, and the duo typing, the dark secondary typing on Greninja and its lower stat products makes it much worse than Swampert. So yes, it is good. It's a huge improvement. It's good overall. It'll be great if Swampert's like banned in a meta and you can use Greninja. It's a great sub. If you have Swampert, use Swampert is essentially my analysis tomorrow. But go watch that tomorrow, full analysis. Yeah, these duo typings. That's what I'm saying. Like like Dragonite duo type. Swampert, I already said his duo typing is great. Dragonite, I like this duo typing of Dragon and Flying. Right, you add a double weakness to Ice, which sucks, but you resist counter now, right? So that Flying second typing resists flying, resists fighting. So you add, and you're not weak to electric because the dragon resists electric, so you neutral, so electric's only neutral, right? So that's like those secondary typings I like. Swamperts I like. Aurorus, Greninja, I do not like your secondary typings. They are not helpful in GBL. Anyways, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next one.